So let's start here. In Western medicine, we often view the mind and the body as completely separate and distinct entities. But actually, that position is not supported by science at all. Science has taught us that the mind and the body are really the same thing. They are continuous with each other. There's no distinction between them. So what do I mean by that? How does that work exactly? Well, in a previous video, which you should definitely watch, we discussed how the mind is located in the physical organ of the brain. And I actually use the terms mind and brain interchangeably, but the brain is the physical organ. The brain is connected with the entire body through the nervous system. So coming off of the brain in the neck, first is the spinal cord. The brain and the spinal cord we refer to together as the central nervous system. And then coming off of the spinal cord are all sorts of nerves that go to every part of the body, every organ, every tissue in the body, down to the tips of your toes, tips of your fingers. Everything is connected. And these nerves that come off of the spinal cord and go throughout the body, we refer to as the peripheral nervous system. In total, the nervous system is made up of billions of nerve cells, or neurons as we call them. And each of these neurons is connected to each other in what we call synapses. Now, a synapse is just an open space in between neurons where neurotransmitters, small chemicals, are released onto receptors. It's really just how the neurons communicate with each other. So throughout the nervous system, which is continuous from the brain throughout the body, there are billions of these neurons and trillions of synapses, trillions of connections between the brain and the body. A very important concept in mind-body medicine is the concept of neural pathways, or sometimes we call them neural circuits. A neural pathway is a group of neurons that work together to control a particular mental or physical process. So there are neural pathways that control mental processes, of course, like our attention or concentration or deeper thinking. But there are also neural pathways that control practically every function in the body. Now, let me give you a very simple example. If I lift my arm up like this, my arm didn't actually decide to lift on its own. There's a neural pathway in my brain that made the decision for my arm to move and sent signals down my peripheral nerves to the muscles in my arm, which caused those muscles to tense, and then I raised my arm. So a neural pathway in the brain actually created the experience of my arm raising and made it happen. And this is common for so many functions in the body. Neural pathways dictate sensation, like touch or smell. They dictate the digestion of your food. They tell you to breathe and how fast. They dictate how fast your heart beats or how hard it beats. They can create experiences like an upset stomach or a diarrhea or vomiting or nausea. There is no end to the role of neural pathways in the conduct of certain bodily functions. This is normal, it is routine, and it's really happening all the time. Most of the time, it happens outside of your awareness. So the neural pathways are operating on a subconscious or unconscious level, but it is happening all the time. Neural pathways can be changed. They are changed on a daily basis in response to our life experience and our reactions to it, our behaviors, our habits. We don't change our neural pathways intentionally or on purpose, but these neural pathways do get changed, and sometimes new neural pathways can get created. This is exactly the way that mind-body symptoms develop because of some life experience and the way we react to it. A new neural pathway can get created that forms a mind-body symptom, like chronic low back pain or fibromyalgia or irritable bowel syndrome. So an example of how this might work is if you imagine somebody who's been through an assault. They have anxiety, they're tense after the assault, and that neural pathway gets activated of that fear and that tension. The more that we use the neural pathway, the longer that anxiety and that tension last for this person, the more that neural pathway is going to be reinforced. Eventually, that neural pathway causes chronic symptoms of anxiety and muscle tension, which can lead to something like chronic low back pain. If neural pathways can be changed, however, this is also good news for treatment, because mind-body medicine is all about changing your neural pathways to go back and eliminate these painful symptoms caused by the brain. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel so we can grow this community of people trying to understand the mind-body connection. Thank you.